Hello, friends.
Hi.
Welcome back. I'm Dr. Ken Berry. This is my lovely wife, boss, partner, and helper, NEISHA Solace-Berry RN. We're going to be here with you for the next 1 hour at least, answering every single question we can about a proper human diet. Low carb, keto, carnivore, intermittent fasting, health, nutrition. Whatever you have questions about, we're going to try our best to answer it. Hey, Holly, we are so happy to have you with us this evening. If you're watching this on the replay, welcome. We're glad to have you watching the replay. Hey, Natalie, what's going on with you? Are you on the wrong thing?
I'm on Facebook. Somehow it pulled up Facebook.
No, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. YouTube's where the cool kids watch.
Oh, someone just got their feelings hurt.
Surely not.
All right.
Clint is watching from Thailand.
Pretty sure I have a cat hair on my face.
Tanya's watching from Cuba, Missouri.
Missouri.
Mona says she's in Istanbul. Hey,
Istanbul,
Mona.
San Sebastian.
I want to go to Istanbul really bad.
Hey, Granny Berry. Already, Granny, you're getting told hello.
Yep.
She's so popular.
We'll see if she pops up later. Tell me where you're watching from in the world. Some of you guys are already piping up. Don't be shy. We want you to comment on this video. We want to know things about you, and we want information from you. What city, what state, what country, where are you at in the world? There's Stacy from Maine. There is Phyllis from Georgia. What else we got? Mary from Arizona. I love it. I love it. Oop, there comes baby Beckett. He's early.
Okay.
He's early. Maybe he's going to make a special guest appearance tonight. I don't know.
My mom forgot what day it was.
Maybe. We're going to be answering as many questions as we can. If you know somebody who has questions about what they should eat, what they should avoid, share this video with them. You're always welcome to do that. You can type their name in the comments, or you can share it on your Facebook page or any of your social media.
Toto's very happy that his boy is home,
yep.
So that's him yapping in the background.
He won't let Becky touch him, but he loves it when he comes home.
Yeah. Wow, we've got a bunch of people in here already.
Robert, our neighbor from Nash Vegas. All right.
Oh, they're going to go ride the gator.
Gotcha.
All right, guys. Pop some questions in the comment section, and we'll try to get to as many as humanly possible.
Yep, absolutely. I'm ready to roll.
Let's go. Human.
We are human.
All right. Let's see.
There's Lily from Beverly Hills, California.
Woo! These are flying by.
You'll pick the wrong one.
All right, let's get this one up here. We got Teddy. Oh, thank you, Teddy.
Thanks for the super chat, my friend.
Melissa says, what's the best magnesium supplement to use?
I think the best magnesium supplement of all is to get your magnesium from real food. And I've got a YouTube video about magnesium-rich foods. But if you feel like you need more than you're getting from your diet, there are several options. Magnesium citrate, if you tend to be constipated, is a great option because it will tend to loosen things up, so to speak. If you don't have any problem with constipation, then magnesium glycinate, magnesium malate, those are great options so you get the magnesium benefit without the number 2 potential side effect.
Martha says, are there any documented cases regarding improvement of macular degeneration via fasting, especially with stem cell production?
Yeah, that's a great question, Martha. I don't know of any case reports or case series regarding intermittent fasting and macular degeneration, but I firmly believe that eating a proper human diet plus daily intermittent fasting or longer fast once a week is going to help rejuvenate the macula, not only because you're eating the right minerals and nutrients and amino acids and fatty acids to rebuild the macula, but also because you're fasting enough to initiate and increase the rate of autophagy. So you're getting rid of old, used up, damaged, worn out macular cells.
I just wanted to give Carl a shout out. Been on keto 13 weeks, lost 41 pounds, reduced blood pressure and blood sugar.
Carl.
Been Ketovore the past 3 weeks and edging towards Carnivore. Thanks for all your videos.
That's Carl with a K right there.
In Arizona.
I love it.
All right, let's see here. Jason wants to know, am I fasting if I have a blood sugar over 200?
Yeah, the definition of fasting is you're not eating, okay, or drinking any carbohydrates or protein. So yeah, you're fasting, but your metabolism and your body just hasn't healed enough for you to have the normal blood sugar yet, or you're a type 2 diabetic and actually you're a type 1, you've been misdiagnosed. One of those two things is going on. So give him more time and make sure your doctors check to see peptide to verify that you're not in fact a type 1 diabetic.
Sal says, hello, been fasting 5 days and eating 2 for the last 2 weeks. Should I be concerned about a vitamin and mineral deficiency or crashing metabolism?
Definitely, you don't have to worry about a crashing metabolism. Now, fasting 5 days and eating 2 for a week or 2, I don't think is dangerous or bad, especially if your body fat percentage is above 20%. But now, if you're slender, that's probably too much fasting, unnecessary amount of fasting. Or so once you've fasted like that for long enough and you've got your body fat percentage down close to normal, there's no need to continue doing that. If you're using a product like the daily mineral drops from Keto Chow, which has all the electrolytes and minerals you need, then you don't have to worry about mineral or electrolyte deficiencies. And then when you do eat on your 2 days, if you're eating real whole proper human diet foods, you're going to be getting plenty of vitamins.
Shout out to Jimmy. Hey, Dr. Berry and NEISHA. I've been carnivore since January 2020. I started at 547 pounds. Today I'm 394 off all meds and insulin, but I can't get rid of neuropathy in my feet. My question is there a cure for neuropathy?
Yeah.
First of all,
go ahead.
Good job.
Amazing.
Man.
You've lost 150 plus pounds.
Yeah.
That's freaking amazing. Keep up the great work. You got some work left to do. You know that, but you've already discovered how to do it with a proper human diet plus intermittent fasting. The neuropathy, sometimes neuropathy is permanent and there's not much you can do about it. I've got a YouTube video of just neuropathy and things that you can do to improve it. There are a few supplements which might help a little bit, but you're already doing 90% of it. You just have to give the nerve fibers time to regrow. You have to feed them the proper human food that they need in order to regrow. And you have to do enough intermittent fasting that you increase your rate of autophagy, so you're getting rid of the old damaged nerve cells so you can make new ones.
All right. Michelle says, I've been carnivore for 4 months, but my fasting blood sugar is still 116. Can my blood pressure pills cause it to stay this high?
Yeah, there are some blood pressure pills that can cause
Funny that you ask.
your blood sugar to be high. Probably that may or may not be what's going on with you. A blood sugar of 116 in a carnivore for your fasting and first thing in the morning, that's not uncommon at all, and it's not unhealthy. When you get your hemoglobin A1C checked, I think you'll find that it's beautiful and that you're very proud of it. So I wouldn't worry much about that 116, but go watch my YouTube video about medications. Like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah.
There's a list of medications that can actually raise your blood sugar, even though, as far as you know, they have nothing to do with blood sugar.
All right. Let's see.
As always, you OGs who've been following us for a while, if you see an obvious newbie question, you guys know we can't answer every question. Feel free to reach out. And if their story resembles yours, feel free to reach out to your little keto brothers and sisters and help them find their way.
Tonya says, can I do an extended fast if I've had a gastric sleeve?
Yeah, absolutely. If you've got extra stored body fat that you want to get rid of, then you absolutely can burn the fat for fuel, the fat on your booty and on your belly. You do not have to eat if you've got stored energy.
Andy says, I've been carnivore for 4 months, but now my triglycerides are over 800. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, that's very uncommon, Andy. Either there's some carbohydrates sneaking into your diet that you're not aware of, or you had a lab error, or you're one of those people who is very sensitive to coffee raising their triglycerides. I think about 5 or 10% of us are like that. So you may have had two cups of coffee before your lab draw. That may have raised them. Or the final thing is you may have fasted for longer than 14 hours before you got your labs checked. You need to fast for 12 hours before a lab check. Okay, even if you guys are doing extended fasting, you got to stop at 12 hours, or it can make some of your lab values, including your triglycerides, look abnormal, even though you're very healthy.
Hungry Heath is back. Welcome back, Hungry Heath. Howdy from Houston. We're leaving Wednesday, heading to Keto Omaha.
We'll see you in Omaha.
We'll also be leaving Wednesday. I will be vlogging the trip with our sweet baby, who's almost 2, but not quite 2. So if you want to watch the adventure, head over to my channel. So you'll see see all the behind the scenes and all that good stuff.
Adventure.
Why did you do that?
Is that the word that we're going to use?
Yes.
Okay.
We're
I like that.
being
It's positive. Yep. It's very positive. I love that.
Yeah. So we're excited. If you guys didn't know, there's a keto summit in Omaha, Nebraska. I think there's tickets still available. So if you're near that area, go check it out. Just Google Keto Summit Omaha. It should pop up. Does it have a specific name? Like, is it just Keto Summit Omaha?
I think it's Keto Omaha or Omaha Keto, something like that.
Yeah. Carol wants to know, how long do I need to fast to help with loose skin after a 100-pound weight loss?
Yeah, either you can do 18 to 20 hours of fasting every day, Carol, and then eat your meals in a 4 to 6 hour feasting window, or you can do a 3-day fast every 2 weeks, or you can do a 4 or 5 day fast once a month. All those are going to basically give you the same benefits. Some people can reabsorb a lot of that redundant loose skin after a bunch of weight loss. Some people don't absorb as much. Now, it's not going to happen in weeks or months. It's going to take 6 to 27 months for you to really notice a huge improvement, but it's free. Keep that in mind. It's actually as free as you can get, because you're not spending a penny, whereas the surgery works faster, but it has potential complications and it's quite expensive.
Anna Marie says, my brother-in-law says he has a hereditary condition that creates high cholesterol. Is there such a thing?
Yeah, there absolutely is. It's called familial hypercholesterolemia. This does not necessarily mean that he needs a statin. My friend, Dr. David Diamond, who's a PhD researcher at the University of South Florida, has great YouTube videos for people with familial hypercholesterolemia. So have your brother check out Dr. David Diamond. Oh, there's Granny Berry now. Our 91-year-old granny is watching from Alabama. She's watching on the YouTube machine. That's what she calls it. Say hi to Granny Berry if you don't mind in the comments. She loves it when you guys do that.
Funk Daddy says,
Funk
carnivore.
Daddy G.
Okay.
Come on now.
Carnivore with alpha-gal and throwing up when eating. I guess, any tips for this?
Yeah, just avoid red meat. There's lots of other meats you can eat. There's poultry. There's fish. A lot of people with alpha-gal can actually eat mutton or goat and do just fine. Just avoid the red meat for a few months until the antibodies calm down.
Sharon says, what are the consequences if I happen to cheat when on carnivore?
You're going to temporarily slow down your progress.
It's individualized.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
I mean, if you have an autoimmune disease and you're triggered by it, it can cause a lot of issues. If you're someone who's just a little bit insulin resistant, then you might just, have a bad day. If you're someone with RA, you could have a lot of pain. It's very
mental health disorders.
Mental health,
yeah, you could have a bad flare up of your mental health issue.
It's all individual.
But if you're just doing it for weight loss, then you're just going to slow down your progress for a day or two. That's all.
Yeah. You got to be real honest with yourself. Yep. Though. Was it just a little consequence, or was it bigger and you're kind of playing it down?
Yeah.
Michelle or Michael. Is it Michelle?
I think it's
just
Michelle.
With one L. Help with SIBO 3 years keto when you're carnivore, still suffering. So many other issues have healed on this way of eating.
Yeah. First of all, how were you diagnosed with SIBO, which stands for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth? If that's what you think you have, and you haven't actually been diagnosed with that by a doctor who has seen you for doctor's appointments, then you may have something completely else different going on, and you're just assuming it's SIBO because the symptoms kind of match. I would highly recommend, because keto for SIBO's gone in a month. When you're on carnivore, if you're still having those type symptoms, you need to go see your doc, your gastroenterologist, and get checked out.
Maddie says, I've been back on keto for 4 months. My hair is coming out in handfuls daily. I'm 26 and I'm breastfeeding. Yep. Any supplements that could help?
So you just had a baby, and you're breastfeeding, and you're on keto and losing lots of weight. So yeah, you're going to have some hair loss. I've got a YouTube video about hair loss that'll help you understand this. This is not unusual. This is natural and normal to lose some hair where you're at.
Especially where you're at.
Yeah, you literally have every single thing that could potentially cause hair loss. You've got it. But the hair loss is temporary. It's not permanent. Your hair is going to come back beautiful and luxurious when you finished breastfeeding this baby. When the weight loss slows down a little bit, your hair is going to come back and be as beautiful as NEISHA's.
Well, no, this is also genetic. Okay.
True.
Shout out to Anne. I love intermittent fasting. I've lost 20 pounds and my reactive hypoglycemia has resolved.
Yep. Tons of people with reactive hypoglycemia are scared to death to do low carb keto or to fast because they're afraid their blood sugar will bottom out. They don't realize that it's when you eat a high carb meal, that's when your blood sugar spikes, your insulin spikes, and it pulls the blood sugar too low, and you have that hypo moment. When you lower the carbs and start doing slowly but gradually more intermittent fasting, it just goes away.
Hey, Flower Bomb, my A1C is 5.4, HDL 55, triglycerides are 108, but LDL-C is 350 plus, total C is 466. Told doctor I am 4 months carnivore, but he says cholesterol is too high and suspects familial hypercholesterolemia and wants me to take a statin. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you may have FH. There's actually lab tests your doctor can do to find out for sure if you have that or not. With the beautiful A1C, your triglycerides are gorgeous. Your HDL was magnificent. I'm not concerned at all about your elevated total cholesterol. You have removed so many risk factors for heart attack and stroke that your elevated LDL is a very minor risk. I wouldn't worry about it much. If you want to compromise with your doctor and take the lowest dose of statin that they make, I think that's a good compromise. If you watch all of my YouTube videos and Dr. David Diamond's videos and you're like, yeah, no, I don't want to take a statin, that's your right to make that decision.
Tina says, water weight compared to fat weight. How long does it take to lose fat?
It takes a little longer to burn the fat off than it does to pee out the water weight. That's true. Usually on keto or carnivore, the water weight that you're holding is going to be somewhere between 5 and 20 pounds, and you're going to lose that over 2 to 5 days. Okay, so after anything you lose after about the 5th or 6th day, that's fat loss that you're having. So congratulations.
Turney says, I've been doing Ketovore for quite a while. I've lost some weight, got more to go. However, if I have a cheat meal and I have carbs, I tend to have leg cramps at night.
So, and the reason for this is that many of the things in a high carbohydrate meal will bind to electrolytes and minerals, and you can't absorb them, first of all. Second of all, you're going to hold some extra fluid, not in your blood vessels, but out in the tissues. And that fluid's going to have some of the minerals with it, so you can't actually make use of them. So it's very common when you're eating a proper human diet like keto or carnivore, and you go and have a big cheat meal to have cramps at night. People, it's very common. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead. I am sorry. I am so sorry.
Steven, look at that cute puppy.
Steven
started carnivore August 1, OMAD, and doing well. You commonly say, eat until you're pleasantly full. I can eat a lot before getting to that point.
So can I.
Not getting hungry. Should I limit my intake to 1 pound, 2 pounds?
Nope.
I'm 6'3".
Nope. Steven, you're just like me. My grandmother would, Granny Berry would say that I eat like a horse. That's how she would phrase that. So I suspect you eat like a horse as well. Even if I'm a carnivore, she would still say that. Yeah. So you eat until you're comfortably stuffed. That's what you do. And then you don't eat again until you're hungry. And OMAD is perfect for you.
If you are not someone who has a history of binging, because you can, look, there's some carnivore foods you can binge. Cheese is one of them.
Cheese and carnivore crisp.
I was fixing to say,
snacks.
and carnivore crisp, like I can eat it doesn't affect me, but like, be aware of how much you're eating if you're stalled out. Seems like Steven's doing well.
Yep. Keep it up, Steven.
Jen, hey girl, will you ever open up your practice again? I live 2 hours away from you. I would gladly make the drive.
Yeah, I'm actually still have an active practice, but it's very small, very limited, and I'm closed to new patients right now. I'm focusing on finishing up my second book. I'm focused on reaching as many thousands of people as I can on social media, just like this. And so NEISHA is the one who said you can either help one person in 15 minutes or you can help 10,000 people in 15 minutes.
Please don't blame me for it.
This is NEISHA's fault. And she's absolutely right. I love seeing patients one-on-one, but at the same time, I can have a much bigger effect and help many, many people who don't have to come to Holiday, Tennessee to see me. I can just help them by doing what I'm doing. And so if I ever open up the practice to new patients, I'll definitely put that out on social media.
All right. Let's see. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, is anybody watching for the first time tonight? If this is the first time you've ever watched one of our lives, please type new, NEW in the comments so we can welcome you and so all of our OGs can say hi to you.
Shonda says, I've been Ketovore since April. I've lost 40 pounds.
Boom, Shonda.
Hypothyroidism. I've been on Levo. My TSH was 0.4. My doctor lowered my meds, even though my thyroid numbers are perfect and I feel great. Did it make sense for him to lower my meds?
Probably not. Now, I obviously wasn't in the exam room with you guys when you were discussing this. Having a TSH of 0.4 is not in any way dangerous or bad. Some people have to take enough thyroid replacement hormone to have a lower TSH in order for them to feel perfectly normal, okay? Taking too much thyroid replacement hormone does not make you feel better. You only want to take the right amount. And doctors secretly think that patients on thyroid replacement want more and more and more so they can lose weight. But you feel miserable if you're taking too much. It's not fun at all. So that's between you and your doctor. But I suspect that either this dose is going to be fine or you should have been left on the previous dose.
Tammy says, how do you know when your insulin resistance is gone?
So that's a great question because there's two issues here. One is insulin resistance. The other is hyperinsulinemia, okay? Now, your hyperinsulinemia, if you eat low carb for long enough, you're going to heal and your hyperinsulinemia will go completely away. Your insulin resistance is due in part to your age, your gender, your hormone status, your gut bacteria, your genetics. There's lots of things that decide how insulin resistant you are. For some of us, like me, I'm still insulin resistant, even though I haven't had a carb in days. But my hyperinsulinemia is completely gone. That should be our goal. Reversing insulin resistance is kind of a false goal because there are some situations where you want to be, to some degree, insulin resistant. That's actually a good thing. It's not always bad. You either are or are not insulin resistant. You can't change that very much. But what you can do is completely reverse hyperinsulinemia. And that's the goal. That should be your goal.
All right. We got grow with the flow.
Grow with the flow.
Got a big old cystic pimple on my face. Yikes.
Nice.
What should I do diet and lifestyle wise?
So if this is the first and only cystic pimple you've ever had on your face, you may not need to change much. But if you're getting these routinely, then you got to fix your diet. You got to eat a ketogenic or a carnivore diet or Ketovore in the middle. And then if that doesn't make them just virtually go away, or you just have an occasional one, because that's normal at any age to have a zit. You're going to have one. That just tells you you're not dead.
He says this because he doesn't get them. Okay,
I do. I've got a huge one right here.
When's the last time you had a cyst on your face?
This was a pretty big one. It was
on
big.
Your face.
I don't usually get them on my face.
Yeah. Okay. So it's easy to ignore one on your back.
Every now and then I'll get one like deep in my
Listen,
right
you
here
might
that's
need
really
to
painful.
you
It
might
hurts.
need to get off the dairy for a little while, and then maybe you can have it every now and then. But that's what I had to do. I had cystic acne pop up, and it was awful, and I was.
It's so much better without dairy, isn't it? Yeah. I'm so sorry. I hate that too because I know you love dairy. It's BS. But so that's one option. I would go talk to your doctor, depending on your stage in life, and make sure your hormones are right where they need to be, because sometimes that can contribute as well. Yeah, Chaz is right. Dr. Nadir Ali is a cardiologist in Texas. There's lots of videos interviewing Dr. Ali on YouTube. He is a wealth of information.
Igor says, I'm currently fasting, and when I work out, lifting weights, my sugar goes up for my CGM.
Yep.
Yet, when I'm on the treadmill, it goes down and then will rise without eating.
Yep. Yeah, all those things are normal. It doesn't mean anything bad. When you're lifting heavy weights, that's a much harder workout than walking or even jogging on the treadmill. The same thing that you would do on the treadmill would be sprinting as fast as you can run, 12, 15 miles an hour. That's the same as lifting heavy weights. And if you did that on the treadmill, your blood sugar would go up then as well. That's completely normal. Nothing to worry about. If any of you guys noticed my shirt, you like that? They're now available. We got mugs, we got shirts, we got sweatshirts, we got tank tops. We even got little carry bags. And I put a link in the show notes on Facebook and on YouTube. This is called the white design. See, it's white on a dark shirt, but we also have a navy design on lighter color shirts. So you can check those out, but they are available. I saw some of you guys asking in the comments.
He is very proud.
I'm so proud. Yeah, I did this myself.
No, he didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, he did not.
I designed the T-shirt.
No, you didn't.
Not the logo.
A lot of work went into
I
this.
put the logo on the T-shirt.
Yes, he put the logo. He was. If you like it,
I'm very proud.
Yeah. Shelly Jones.
Shelly Jones.
My mom's A1C was just tested. It's 14.
Oh my God.
She is wanting to lower it quickly.
Yep.
Do you have any advice?
Yeah,
for her?
if she loves meat, she needs to eat beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for the next 90 days, as much as she wants, as often as she wants. And unless she's a type 1 diabetic and needs more insulin, her A1C in 3 months' time will probably go from a 14 down to a 7 or an 8. And then 3 months after that, it'll be back to normal. She's got to cut the carbohydrates drastically, because having an A1C of 14 is bad, because that means her blood sugar is averaging over 250 all the time. And you will not have your mom around much longer, Shelly, unless you lovingly, respectfully help your mother.
It says she's wanting to lower it quickly.
That's good, though, but just don't be pushy, because she's mama. She's the boss. Okay, Beckett's learning that about NEISHA. He's got to ask nicely. He can't be bossy.
That is so true.
What does he do, though? He comes and he grabs her. He's like, Mama, go to couch. Mama, go to couch. He wants her to sit on the couch and watch a little educational show. And he's like, Mama, go to couch. And she's like, what do you say? And he'll go, please go to couch. It's so cute.
Little stinker. B. Thomas, help to speed up weight loss. I've not seen big loss. I've been lowering carbs and doing fasting intervals 14 hours a day.
Yep.
Ideas, doing low carb for over a year and fasting periods for a month.
So lower the carbs more. Probably I'd drop down and figure out what you're eating now and drop it 25%, and then increase your fasting interval to 16 hours a day. That's the weight loss should pick up after that. If it does not, I have got a YouTube video about the 13 reasons why you might stall in your weight loss. It could be hormones. It could be lots of different things. Go watch that video. Fast longer and eat fewer carbs. Don't eat less food. Eat till you're full. Eat fewer carbohydrates.
Emma's got a good question.
Hey, Emma.
NEISHA, I saw that you put a whole egg in your coffee. Are there concerns about eating a whole egg with the whites, with it blocking biotin absorption? I'm looking for a dairy alternative.
It's a good question. The biotin is the thing that's going to block the biotin is found in the white of the egg. And so if you're worried about that, if you're having hair loss, if you're a man or a woman, and you're worried about biotin for your hair and nails, then I would just do 1 or 2 egg yolks without the white, because there's none of the biotin blocking stuff. It's called a vedin. That's what it's called, and it's in the white only.
I'm
Good
obviously
question.
not having a problem with the biotin absorption.
It affects some more than others.
myself.
Yeah, some more than others. And I don't know if it's 100% proven, but theoretically it makes sense physiologically. And there is some limited research that shows that too much of vedin might cause some hair weakening.
Liz says, last free TSH was 0.43. Doc said that was fine.
Yep.
I don't feel fine. I just got him to agree to a full thyroid
Perfect.
panel. What do I need to do or no?
Now you're off to a running start. There's a website called stopthethyroidmadness.com. You need to go there and read everything that my friend there has written. And you can, if you're not a patron on patreon.com, you can join that, and we can go over your lab work in our private community there. There's multiple different things that you need to know. A 0.43 is not too low. You may actually, if you're having severe symptoms, you may need some thyroid replacement hormone, depending on what your other labs look like.
The Knight says, he's not the son, I'm just calling him that.
JD Knight.
Howdy from Fairfield, California. I love your conversations with other doctors, such as Anthony J., Dr. Nadir Ali. Any chance you will have more conversations with them or others?
Yep. So we had a ton of internet problems after the move from Nashville to the woods. We now have great internet again, and I've already got, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. I've got an interview with Gary Taubes.
I thought you were going to say Gary V. I was like, what?
No, Gary Taubes. He knows more about keto than Gary V. I just did an interview with Dr. Robert Lustig, a pediatric endocrinologist. I've had Dr. Ali on once before, but I 100% will reach out to him again and have him back on, because like I said earlier, he is a wealth of wisdom and information. I love Dr. Anthony J, Professor Anthony J. I'll probably have him on again before long. I have plans to have Professor Ben Bickman on for one of the lives. I've got a long list of people that I've reached out to say, hey, come be on a live.
Yep. Exciting stuff. Okay, so Oliver. Flonase has dextrose. Will this affect my blood sugar? Thanks to you both. 60 pounds down and counting. Well done.
Maybe a little, probably not much. Look here. Here's a good comment. Ken Watts says, hello to all newbies. This will work. And Ken's exactly right. The Flonase is probably not going to raise your blood sugar very much, but the best way to know is to get a glucometer. You can get one for $30 at the big box stores and check your blood sugar 30 minutes after you use it.
Teddy, as a 58-year-old keto carnivore faster with a CAC score of 589.9, would I be better off taking blood pressure meds with great blood pressure or without blood pressure meds at 140/90?
So 140/90 is pretty darn normal. The American Heart Association would not agree with me on that. They would say that's way too high. You probably would lower your risk of a heart attack a tiny bit if you took a low dose of a very safe blood pressure medicine like one of the ACE inhibitors, like Acupril or Lisinopril, or one of the ARBs like Cozar or Losartan. A low dose is going to bump you down probably 10 points on top and bottom. And that would probably offer, that would load the dice in your favor a little bit. It's not going to be night and day different, but it should help a little until you've been doing this long enough that your blood pressure is going to be pretty close to normal.
Joanne says, I'm reaching my protein needs, but I'm always 300 to 400 below my calorie needs. Is this okay?
Yeah, your body doesn't need any calories at all. Your body doesn't know what a calorie is. It doesn't count them. Calories don't matter. You make sure you're hitting your protein macro every day, and you fill with fat to make it delicious, and you also need the fatty acids in that. And then make sure you're getting your vitamins and minerals. Over and above that, calories are irrelevant.
This is a good one from Teresa. Is carnivore good for recovering anorexia or someone who is underweight?
Great question. Yeah. Keto and carnivore are not weight loss diets. It's just that most people come to them for weight loss because they work for that. But they're actually a weight optimization diet. And we know many people who have gained weight on keto or carnivore, and people who are recovering from anorexia or from some other condition that has them very, very underweight. They'll gain weight. They'll put on muscle. They'll put on bone density. Their connective tissue gets stronger and thicker, and they'll actually gain weight on a proper human diet. So, Teresa, I think that if this is for you or a friend, the proper human diet is the way for you.
Hey, Josh, should I be concerned about trans fat in 100% grass-fed beef?
Yep.
It's listed on the nutrition label. Is this natural CLA?
100% is. Yeah. All meat contains a tiny amount of trans fats. Having a tiny amount of trans fats is like, it's like linoleic acid, right? That's an essential fatty acid. But what you don't want to be doing is cooking everything in canola oil and soybean oil and getting way too much linoleic acid. Okay. And the same goes for the trans fats. If you're cooking in Crisco and all that junk, you were getting way too much back before the federal government made big food manufacturers take it out of their ingredient list. If you cook too long and too high of a temperature, even still with canola and soybean and sunflower oil, you're still going to be producing some trans fats, too many to be healthy. But the trans fats and the polyunsaturated fatty acids that occur naturally in meat, they're meant to be there. And we've been eating those for a long damn time. Don't worry about those. Those are fine.
David, my highest weight was 487 1.5 years ago when I found keto. As of yesterday, I am 401.6 and my A1C is now 6.2, down from 8.8 4 months ago.
Absolutely, David.
Good job, David.
Absolutely, brother. Keep up the good work. You're moving in the right direction. If you want to move faster, maybe switch to carnivore. If you're happy with your progress, keto is the way for you.
Daniel says, good evening, doctor. My girlfriend has fibro. Recently cut out sugars and grains from the diet and slowly introducing meat. Are there any other tips to help her out?
No, those are two great things, and those are going to help tremendously. The third thing she needs to cut out completely is any vegetable oil. She needs to use only animal fats to cook with and to season with, okay? And then any kind of additives, preservatives, junk, she needs to be eating real, whole, one ingredient, keto friendly foods. Perfect.
Have you done a video yet about the article?
No, I'm still working on it. The article is so terrible, it's hard to even put together a video.
I think you should do a video that's like, I'm going to talk about this article. It's BS. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
Like a 10-second video. Yeah, that's really what it's worth. It's such a terrible article.
All right, let's see here. Guys, hit that thumb button. Ladies, hit that thumb button too. Thank you so much for sharing this, by the way. Igor says, thanks for the answer, but I guess my question is more, why does my sugar go up during those occasions of exercise?
Because your red blood cells need the glucose. They cannot burn ketones or fatty acids. They don't have mitochondria. They have to have the blood sugar, and your liver makes it when they need it. That's one of the many hundreds of things your liver is really good at doing. It's called gluconeogenesis, and it can also break down glycogen called glycolysis and put glucose out in your bloodstream when your cells need it. And when you work out hard, you're going to need more glucose for your red blood cells. When you fast for a long time, you'll notice your blood sugar goes up. Also, the same thing, your cells need some glucose from time to time, and your liver is happy to make it. You never have to eat it.
Lotus says, not a question, just wanted to say I found you guys a year ago. I started keto last September, and as of this morning, I'm 1.8 pounds away from 100 pounds lost.
Ooh, I love it.
In a year.
That's what I'm talking about. And now you get the privilege of teaching your friends and family how to do this.
It's amazing.
That's so cool.
Good job.
I love it. I love it.
Good job is an understatement, right?
Yeah. Great, fantastic job.
Tracy, Dr. Berry, I absolutely love your channel. I've lost 40 pounds on keto. I noticed sagging in my cheeks after the weight loss. Please advise. So
this happens to some of us. Some of us, it doesn't happen as much, Tracy. You need to start implementing, if you haven't already, probably an 18-hour intermittent fast every day. And so have a 6-hour feasting window during which you eat lots of keto and carnivore foods. And then you're going to fast for 18 hours a day. That's going to increase your rate of autophagy, which is where you break down and recycle old cells, unneeded cells, like floppy jaw skin. That's unneeded. Your body doesn't need that. And so your body's very intelligent. It's not going to start breaking down your eyeballs or your muscles or your liver. It's going to break down stuff that's old, worn out, or redundant or unuseful. That's what your body's going to do because it's very wise. And so as you ramp up the intermittent fasting, you'll notice those cheeks are tightening. Take a picture now and save it on your phone, and then take the same exact picture, same exact light, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 12 months from now, and you'll be able to see the difference in that before and after picture.
You don't have to show it to anybody.
No, you don't have to post it unless you want to share your story.
Yeah. Jennifer says, do you recommend fasting for someone who just started keto, or should they wait until they're fat adapted?
I personally recommend that you get fat adapted, get keto adapted, and also get completely over the carbohydrate withdrawal symptoms. And then when you've done that, those two things, and that usually takes 3 to 4 weeks to get completely through that, then I think you won't even have to try to start the intermittent fast. It'll just start to happen. You'll just be like, I'm not hungry. I'm not even going to eat breakfast. I got stuff to do. And then you get to be more productive, Jennifer.
Thailand, intermittent fasting 18-6 and have been hypoglycemic for 4 days, under 70. But even though my blood sugar was low, my ketones were also low. I don't understand.
Yeah, so 70 is not hypoglycemic, okay? 70 is a normal blood sugar. Maybe your doctor misled you. But anything above 60 is 100% normal. Don't worry about a 70. That is a normal blood sugar. That's actually a great blood sugar. I don't know, by low, I don't know what you mean about your ketones. If your ketones are 0.5 or higher, you're in ketosis, you're doing great. Yeah, Paul Mason's another. Zelia, I'm going to ask Dr. Paul Mason to be on soon as well.
You guys are leaving some amazing questions. You're making my job really hard tonight. David says, can you flavor water in any way without adding carbs or sugar?
Yeah, so a couple of ways. NEISHA probably knows more than I do, but 1 or 2 drops of lemon juice or lime juice. That's way less than 1 gram of carbohydrate, and that'll flavor an 8-ounce glass of water up perfectly. Putting a pinch of salt in your water, you may say gross, but it's pretty nice. A lot of people do that, especially if they're starting to get hungry when they're fasting. How else would you add a little flavor?
There's a lot of electrolytes out there. We use the Relight from Redmond's and the Element, LMNT is how it's spelled. And I think all of those are 0 carb. They do have sugar or alcohols in them, I think. No, it's stevia, so they are 0 carb.
Yep.
And they're amazing flavors. Really, really good. And for most people, they work really, really well. So I would look into, you need electrolytes anyway, so that's a good way to flavor your water and then get something that you need anyways.
What's your favorite app?
Listen, okay, it's personal preference, and they are all going to tell you something different.
Yeah, and none of them are 100% accurate.
It's all an estimation, but the 2 ones that I really like are Chronometer and Carb Manager. Both of them they have free versions that you can use to track things. But like I said, it's an estimation. They're going to tell you different things. You got to kind of like do the work to figure out if you need to bump up your fat or bump up your protein. And you should keep your carbs under 20 total grams, and like the rest will just kind of figure itself out.
Yeah. Now here's something that just makes me furious. I'm sorry. Jeff says, my endocrinologist will not test my insulin level. How important is this to know? I'm currently on Trulicity max dose, Maxide, and Metformin max dose, and my A1C is still a 7.2. It's very important, Jeff. Okay. If you have to go to one of the websites like truehealthlabs.com and order it yourself, you need to know what your C peptide and your fasting insulin are. There's a small chance that you're a type 1 diabetic who's been misdiagnosed as a type 2. There's a chance that that's happened. I've seen it happen before. The C peptide is going to immediately tell you if you're type 1 or type 2. Also, if your C peptide is still high, you know you're still eating too many carbohydrates for your biochemistry. It's a very, very important test. Why an endocrinologist refuses to order it, at this point, it's just stubborn ignorance. And that's what it is. I don't know what else to call it.
Charles says diagnosed with
Cervicogenic migraine.
Okay, go ahead.
Due to cognitive memory fog, MRI and EEG came back normal. Got prescribed amitriptyline. Don't want to take it since it's an old antidepressant. Can carnivore help? Charles, I'd definitely give a carnivore diet a 90-day try. Worst case, it's not going to help. That's literally the worst thing that could possibly happen. Amitriptyline is an older antidepressant, and it's used for other nerve issues and neurological issues as well. Has a long list of possible side effects, some of which are not very nice. I would try 90 days of carnivore, and then if you get no relief whatsoever, you can go back and have a conversation with your doctor.
Random says, new to your channel, do you recommend a home kit to test for food sensitivity or
Great
allergies?
question. What do you say, NEISHA? Solace-Berry, RN?
For food sensitivities, absolutely not. Total waste of your money. For allergies, if you want to act like that's kind of serious, if you need to know what you're allergic to, you need to have a real one in office done if you think you're allergic to someone. Yeah. That's
100%. Even the food sensitivity testing that you might get in a healthcare provider's office are completely useless. They're without value. They do not help you in any way. Sorry.
I wish I could tell you otherwise. Hey, fully laden. Doing keto carnivore for nearly 3 years. Gained belly fat. Suspect it's the benzo. Trying a 7-day fast to kickstart fat loss. Any thoughts? Yeah.
Benzo withdrawal is a booger. Some of the benzodiazepines, like Klonopin and alprazolam, it can take some people a year or two to get completely through the withdrawal process. No doctor tells you that when you start a benzodiazepine like Valium or Xanax or Klonopin. But yeah, some people have terrible withdrawal symptoms for a long, long time. I think you're on the right track to reversing that.
The food sensitivity tests, are bad because they're inaccurate and they cost a lot of money. If you want to know what you're sensitive to, you need to do an elimination diet, because that's the best and most money, like cost-effective way to find out.
I think what the food sensitivity tests actually measure, they don't measure the antigen that, like, oh my God, you're going to have an anaphylactic shock if you eat this food. Basically, all they tell you is that you've eaten that food in the recent past and had a little bit of a reaction to it, which is very common. Most of the foods we eat, we have a little immune response to them. That's your immune system checking everything out. It's kind of like your immune system when you eat food is like the TSA. Your immune system is going to raise up a little bit. It's going to frisk that food, and it's going to run it through the scanner. It's going to be like, I don't know, is this okay? Yeah, okay, you can go, you can get on. But that's normal for you to have an antigen response to the foods you eat. That does not mean you're in any way sensitive or allergic to them. Now, if you've had anaphylactic shock or hives or something like that to a specific food before, then I think having real allergy testing at a doctor's office might be beneficial for you. I hear a baby coming.
Oh, hello. It's Daddy's book, yeah.
Hey, Kendra says, will we have merch at the Keto Summit? Nope. You can only get this online at the website that I put in the show notes. Say hi to that baby. Do you want to count to 10 tonight? Or no? You do? Okay. Count to 10.
He's shy tonight.
I love it. He's shy.
That's okay.
Has he been riding on the gator?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he loves riding on the gator. Did he get sleepy? Riding on the...
Not really, but
No.
he was ready to, I think he's a little tired. But he did take a nap today.
Yeah. GCM Ball says, can you wean yourself off blood pressure meds if doctor won't let you? Yes, but many times you don't need to just stop taking the medicine. You need to decrease the dosage slowly. Some of the medications you can have a rebound hypertension if you just stop at cold turkey. If your doctor won't discuss this with you, then first of all, start checking your blood pressure twice a day at home. Write it down. And then when you've got 2 or 3 weeks of evidence saying, look, doc, my blood pressure is 120/70. Why am I taking this pill? If your doc at that point won't at least decrease the dosage, you need to find a new doctor, okay? And you find any local doctor, any urgent care, and you take 2 or 3 weeks of blood pressure readings and say, look, my idiot doctor won't decrease my blood pressure medicine, even though I'm getting these numbers, they're going to decrease it to at least the next lower dosage, which is a great victory. And then after 3 months there, you take your readings back again, they'll decrease it again, and before long, you'll be off it. But you need to do it with a healthcare provider. Because not everybody knows if their blood pressure medicine is going to have a rebound effect.
Arigato says, if I go carnivore, can I risk becoming lactose and gluten intolerant if I stop consuming dairy and grains, taking small amounts? Would that prevent it?
No, your immune system is very intelligent and very wise. It's been exposed to both lactose and gluten in the past. Your ability to eat lactose and gluten is set in stone for the rest of your life. I would advise you to avoid both of those for the rest of your life, but you're never going to become intolerant just because you don't eat them for a few months or a few years.
You read that one.
Pericardectomy, 2 years ago, due to a mycobacterial infection. Resting heart rate before surgery 125, now 90 to 100 on keto 2 weeks. I've lost 20 pounds. I'm working out. Well, heart rate lower, or is this genetic? No heart damage or disease left. Having a heart rate of 90 that's normal for some of us. Not everybody has a heart rate of 60. Okay. Now, if you're getting up to 95 and 100, and even at rest when you're calm and relaxed, if it's staying 95 or 100, that's still not necessarily pathology. That may still be normal for you, but you do need to touch base with your cardiologist and make sure that they're aware of this, and don't let them just knee-jerk write you a prescription for a beta blocker or something. Just say, look, if I don't need a pill for this, that's fine. I don't want a pill, but I just wanted your expert learned opinion. Is it okay if I run a 95 even when I'm super calm and relaxed?
Guys, just a reminder that we stop the live at 8 o'clock. So if you're still sending super chats like 2 minutes close to 9, like just maybe don't do that because we can't get your question. I want you to pay for that. So just keep that in mind. Tylen says, so her Keto Mojo said that it was hypo because it was 54.
Yeah, and for some people, even a 54 is not dangerously low, but anything above 60 is 100% healthy and normal. Keto Mojo, they have it set at 70 just out of an abundance of caution, but as long as your blood sugar is above 60, it's totally fine.
Kizzy says, I've been dealing with a restless leg syndrome, but in my arms, more specifically under my arms, what's going on? I currently eat carnivore.
Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't have some kind of little rash simmering under there that just hasn't presented itself yet. I would predict this is going to be short-lived, but if it pops out in a rash or it continues to get worse, see your local doctor.
Igor, what are the signs or tests that will let me know if my insulin receptors have reset?
There's not one.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be a great test, but currently it would take a muscle biopsy and probably cost $15,000 to $20,000 to test that. And there's just you basically can't get that test done except in a research facility. What you need to focus on, Igor, is having a normal C-peptide, a normal hemoglobin A1C, and a normal fasting insulin. When you've got those three numbers within the normal range or better, you've done your job. That's your job.
Top of the hour. So I know everybody's in different time zones. So in 10 minutes is when we stop. I said 9 o'clock, but then I'm at 8 o'clock. And that doesn't really apply to everyone now, does it? Bach says, I was prescribed omeprazole for gastritis for my GP. How long is it safe to take this? I've heard some horror stories about this drug.
You don't want to take that any longer than 8 weeks, 2 months. Okay. Now, if you have an active bleeding ulcer in your stomach or your duodenum, then you might take it for a little longer than that until that's healed. But there is no world in which it's safe to take omeprazole or Prevacid or Nexium every day for years. That is not okay. That is not normal. That is not safe. I've got a YouTube video about the dangers of doing that. It can increase your risk of pneumonia, of osteoporosis, of dementia, all kinds of stuff. So it's totally fine to take that for a few weeks or for up to 3 months under a doctor's supervision. But if your doctor's just mindlessly giving you a year's worth of refills on your omeprazole, that's not okay. Do not take that.
Donna says, been keto carnivore for 1.5 years, only lost 20 pounds, had a full workup, all came back normal, hormones, A1C, autoimmune, everything. I also fast. Please help.
Yeah, you're doing everything right. For some of us, it takes longer for the fat to come off. You might consider increasing your fasting time. You might, they said they're carnivore. Is that what they said?
Keto carnivore.
Keto carnivore. Okay. You might consider doing 90 days of carnivore and try to do an 18-hour to 20-hour fast. So you're going to eat within a 4 to 6 hour feasting window as much as you want. And then you're going to fast for 18 to 20 hours a day. That might be what it takes for you, Donna, to get the weight loss going again.
I am Brian. I am moderating and doing questions.
She's doing both.
Why did you do that?
There wasn't.
Yes, there was.
No, it wasn't.
Oh my God. Yes, there was.
I was helping.
Yeah, no. Oh my gosh. Why? You just stay in your little.
You're on my side anyway.
Your throne. Danielle says, hi, I've been intermittent fasting for 3 years and I've lost a ton of weight. Went carnivore and gained 25 pounds. I can't seem to stop eating. Please help.
Yeah. So you can continue intermittent fasting while you're eating carnivore. Some women, when they start a carnivore diet, they'll gain 15, 20, 25 pounds initially, but then the weight comes back off and then they feel their best. It may be that intermittent fasting and keto is the way for you, Danielle. But don't give up on carnivore yet. I'd give it a few more months to see how things go. But make sure when you're eating a carnivore meal, you eat until you're completely comfortably stuffed. Do not portion control.
C-Love, can hydration affect blood sugar? Are bananas bad?
Hydration, definitely. If you drink a gallon of water, that's going to dilute your blood. And so it'll make it look like your blood sugar is lower. So if you want to trick your doctor, you can drink a gallon right before they check your fasting blood sugar, and that'll drop it probably 5 or 10 points. But that's not really a true blood sugar. You've diluted that. Bananas are very high in carbohydrates and essentially void of meaningful nutrition. There are hundreds of keto-friendly veggies that have far more vitamins and minerals than a banana and are far lower in carbohydrates. So I wouldn't say bananas are bad, but they're just not good. They're tasty.
There's no bad foods. Okay.
Yeah, they're tasty, but so is a Twinkie.
But
yeah, there are hundreds of better options. Bananas are just.
It's better than an ice cream cone, probably.
You're worth more than a banana, Sea Love. Okay, you deserve better.
They're weird. I've never liked bananas. That's never been a problem. There's so many people that miss bananas so bad. Lindsay Ann, been stress eating, fell off the wagon.
Now, Lindsay Ann, I thought we talked about this. Okay, it's very simple, Lindsay Ann. You're not going to beat yourself up. You're not going to feel guilty. You're not going to be upset with yourself. You're going to fast for the rest of this day, whatever that day means to you. And then tomorrow, when you break your fast, which I hope is around lunch, you're going to eat a keto meal. And then you're going to forget that foolishness happened. You're going to pretend you were in Vegas and we're not going to talk about that ever again. And you're going to be back on the keto train and you're not going to do that again.
Lindsay, you really need to address why you keep falling off. What's doing that to you? Is it your loving husband who just triggers you? Is it your kids? Is it your job? You need to address what's causing you to fall off and fix that. That way you can get to the root of why you keep falling off.
As you have discovered, Lindsay, eating junk food never fixes the thing that you're stressed about, does it? Never. It just gives you another thing to worry about. You got to, whatever's stressing you, you got to face it. You got to have a discussion with it. And you either got to fire it or you got to promote it or you got to rearrange it. You got to fix that or you're going to keep having this problem. And we don't want that for you.
You got this, sister.
You got it. You can do this. But you need to stand up and look it in the eyes.
Give yourself some grace, but also give yourself a little tough love, okay?
That's
you know?
right. Yeah.
Sherry says, my question didn't show up. Okay. What's the main cause for solid, undigested food in stool, like corn?
Yeah, you're eating foods that your body can't digest. The most common are very fibrous vegetables. And that's your body saying, hey, Sherry, I don't want you to eat that because I can't digest it. Okay. We actually, there's a joke, you call corn evidence food because it's evidence you ate corn 3 days ago. That means your body doesn't want that. It didn't even go to the trouble to digest it. Stop eating the evidence food.
Read that for me.
Okay. Evelyn says very low TSH and positive TPO antibodies. So I have Hashimoto's. Is keto helpful for these two conditions? Good shape, but struggling with belly fat. So keto is 100% going to help you with that visceral belly fat. And regardless of what thyroid condition you have, you need to eat a proper human diet because it's going to help all of your hormones function more efficiently and more properly. So if you're not taking thyroid replacement hormone and you have a very low TSH, then you have hyperthyroidism. And you need to be eating a proper human diet so that your body can sustain and support itself while it's having to go through that little hormone muck-up.
All right, that's the next one. Yeah.
Ningrod Vlog says, I have a ganglion cyst on my wrist. Man, I miss draining ganglion cysts. That was fun.
Really?
Yeah, I would take them out. I would drain them. That was so much fun for me, the doctor. Never fun
for the patient.
Have been dirty Ketovore for like 5 months. I don't know how I got this. What is the cause of it? So the theory is that there's a little weakness in the synovial sheath of your joint. And so you always have, they call it synovial fluid, but it's really like thick, like a viscous jelly. And that's what that thing is full of. Some people will use the family Bible therapy, and actually old doctors in my town used to recommend that. They just lay your wrist on a table and just knock the shit out of it with the family Bible, and that'll break that cyst. Now, sometimes it hurts like a mofo. So, there's other options, but sometimes it comes back. Sometimes it doesn't come back anymore, and that therefore it fixed it. But if it's hurting you, then go see your doctor. It's a very simple procedure to drain it or to excise it. But if it's not hurting and not affecting you in any way, it's 100% not dangerous, not bad, nothing to worry about. If you only know it's there when you touch it with your finger, leave it alone. It's fine. If it goes away, great. If it doesn't, it's okay. It's not a problem.
Yeah, Sherry, I think that's a good idea. She said, thanks so much. This came up last week to the point of on toilet for hours. Still can't keep that from happening, but I'm thinking elimination diet.
100%. And the best for you, Sherry, since we know that your body does not like certain plants, I do 90 days of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And then you can start adding back in one vegetable at a time. And then if you start seeing evidence in the number 2, you just need to mark that off your list. That's not a real food for you.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding.
That's it, folks. Thanks so much. Please, if you know somebody who you think this information will help, share this video with them. You can share it on any of your social media. That helps us to help more people. And that's what we're here to do, right? Thanks so much to our Facebook supporters and our patrons on patreon.com. If you'd like to join our private community on Patreon, we do lots of behind the scenes stuff. We do 3 lives a week in there. So you're not competing with 3,000 people to get your question asked.
2, and then a certain level gets a Zoom call.
Yeah, so 3 total lives a week where we answer questions with a much smaller group of people. So if you've got lots of questions that are really important to you, consider becoming a patron on patreon.com.
We'll be over there tomorrow and Wednesday. Well, no, not Wednesday. Wednesday we fly.
Ooh,
we fly.
We're going to Omaha.
I'm so looking forward to it.
I love it. All right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time, same channel, same station, same wife and same hubby.